we generated more than 150K in revenue for this business over the course of the last 3 months and 5.6 ROAS. And this is exactly what we did. We're going to go exactly on the steps to get there. This was a very, very good case study for you because I think it's very applicable to the average ad account that I audit inside Google essentially. So let's actually dive into it. This is a multi-product business. It's basically selling, wine online. So it's a very, commoditized product. So I think this is great because I think seeing these results in a very competitive niche, I think gives you a lot more, belief that you can be very profitable with Google. So the problem here initially was that basically they just weren't profitable. They had a lot of segmentation inside the account. They thought just because they had thousands of SKUs, we better just, get them all inside the account, which is totally wrong. So one was account over segmentation, which you see this all the time, especially on the early stages. In early stages, I mean below 20K per month. The more consolidation, the better inside the account. Number two is there was no specific, product strategy, not thinking about how we can connect the P&L essentially and the profit on back account with the ad account. And that comes from merchandising the account itself. So basically just prioritizing the highest grossing margin products or categories and then moving into the next after we kind of nailed the first ones. And number three, conversion tracking. The account was optimizing for a lot of trust events like page views and a kind of auto cards, what we kind of took over, which was insanely kind of thing to kind of comprehend, which was an insane thing to kind of comprehend. But I think these things happen from like freelancers to agencies, even like brand owners themselves. Just Google can be tricky as well in terms of like tracking overall maybe compared to Meta, where things are maybe slightly simpler. So yeah, not consistent profitable structure in place, absolutely not. And the other key things, a lot of areas of like opportunity in terms of like missing or leaks of like spend and inefficiency. For example, they were for example added the search partners option, which is absolute trash. They were spending a lot on tablets and kind of I think desktop, which was also pretty trash. And yeah, things like that, there's a lot of optimization to be made. So what we did first is we set the foundations. Obviously the first was conversion tracking. We removed all the non-purchase conversion actions. Google was optimized towards, again, ensure accurate purchase tracking end-to-end via GA4 integration. And yeah, basically no scaling happened with the kind of working foundation, which was the first thing to do, a bit technical, but it's very important that you guys take into account. And number three is initially, like the first thing I did is like basically pause all the other campaigns that we didn't need to have there. So obviously the first thing was sitting down with the founder, and obviously we do get access to Shopify and TripleWell. So we do our own analysis of like the highest grossing products. We sort by highest gross selling, but also the highest gross margin. So we also dug deeper in terms of the unit economics. And this is how we get a plan to the account. And we started segmenting things on a PMax with all the best sellers, with optimized creative as well, request specific creative. And we also had a shopping casual campaign, which was catching essentially all the other products apart from the bestsellers. Because obviously that was still very important to do, right? We don't want to, especially when you have like thousands of SKUs, it's not that we just want to prioritize like 10 of those, right? So that was the first thing to do. As we start getting more consistent performance, in combination with optimizing the feed, and off feed was also a huge thing. CTR was quite low, and I think I haven't mentioned here. And this is a great checklist that you can screenshot or have kind of, I don't know, maybe whatever you want to with it that I have, which really helps with those titles inside the merchant center, because I think this is one of the most important things that can help you out in terms of like optimizing it without like getting lost on the thousands of things that you can optimize. Title is one of the biggest levers. Obviously price will be the biggest one, to be honest, assuming you have a decent title. But title is going to be the next biggest thing, because that gives clarity to the customer, but also to Google as well, right? People forget that shopping, there's a lot of ranking happening just from the title itself. So after we got this route down, we start segmenting and adding more PMaxes, like the mid-tier products, and then eventually the low zombie products as well. And that really helped in terms of consolidating around the key working themes inside the account and start having a different strategy per product category, because this is the only way that you can scale, especially if you have multiple products. Like maybe you have like one or two products, this obviously that doesn't apply, and it can be maybe much simpler. but on those occasions, it's super important to do. Now, how do we scale? Obviously, after we had shopping and PMAXs down, then it was down to optimizing the feed, which obviously I talk about the title, but there's a lot of things that you can do on the feed. Play around with the pricing as well. Play around with just optimizing message center to the maximum with using a feed management tool, and it does really help with our CTR and the product fit, which is the biggest lever, to be honest. And then we kind of layered in non-branded search and retargeting to capture all the demand really. Now, non-branded search is something that I like to implement as soon as I have my shopping, I guess, part of the account really nailed down, because I think shopping will always get prioritized and is much more incremental to the revenue that we see on Shopify compared to search campaigns where things can be trickier there. So adding non-branded search and retargeting really helped a lot in terms of like adding more revenue, and that's not in the 190k that we generated. This is like on beyond that, and that's what I'm doing now. But you can see with like very simple things to take a look at, like conversion tracking, account structure, and feed optimization, you can really have Google being as a very profitable and not just demand capturing, but also demand generating channel. So if you want a free audit in terms of like some of the leaks, spotting hidden opportunities inside your account, click the link below. Click the link below, and I'm gonna personally audit your account for you. And I'm gonna personally audit the accounts, and you can hopefully generate more revenue from Google and make this profitable channel for you. Thanks a lot.